For coverage you can count on, this is the KFOX 14 Morning News.
I take full responsibility for all our counterterrorism operations, including the one that inadvertently took the lives of Warren and Giovanni. I profoundly regret what happened.
In an extraordinary moment, President Obama issues an apology in the White House briefing room. New this morning, reaction from family and friends of an American hostage killed. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. I'm Stephanie Guadian. The details of that counterterrorism operation coming up in just a few minutes. But first, we want to get you ready for the day. Meteorologist Brad Montgomery live out of UTEP with a look at our weather. Brad.
Yeah, and we're out here this morning next to the Centennial Museum. You see all the plants around me. This is for FloraFest 2015. These are actually suited to the desert, so you don't just have desert plants. You got a lot of evergreen-looking plants, too, with some rather large foliage. We'll be talking more about all these plants suited for our area coming up that are going to be on sale tomorrow, beginning tomorrow. Take a look outside right now. We're seeing the clouds kind of break up. About a 10% chance of a shower. Most areas seeing temperatures in the 50s. We had some rain during the 5 o'clock hour, but that's since moving out. KFOX early warning storm track Doppler showing that activity pulling out of the picture on off toward the east on the right side of your screen. Forecast for today, El Paso, 76 degrees, a 10% chance of showers through the rest of the day. Windy this afternoon, west winds 25 to 35. Same for you in Las Cruces. You'll see a high temperature this afternoon around 72 degrees. Coming up, we're going to be talking to John White about all these beautiful plants they're going to be selling here out at FloraFest 2015 in just a bit. Christine.
Thank you, Brad. Checking out your traffic right now. We do have one crash to warn you about over in northeast El Paso. This will be heading on Gateway South right at Sean Haggerty Drive. I did check out the Texel cameras. They are slowing down traffic in this area, so try to avoid it if you can. You can always stick to McRae if you're heading on out in that area this morning. Also, roads are slick out there. It's not raining anymore, but you do want to be careful as you travel through there and leave a time for delays. Stephanie.
Christiane and Brad, thank you both. New this morning, reaction from family members of an American hostage accidentally killed in a U.S. counterterrorism operation. The White House says that operation was targeting an al-Qaeda compound back in January.
9 years ago, I came to Pakistan to help my government try to get President Obama and his administration to actively pursue my release.
That is the last the world heard from American doctor Warren Weinstein. He was one of the innocent hostages killed in a U.S. drone strike. The other was Italian national Giovanni Loporto. The White House also disclosed 2 other Americans, both al-Qaeda operatives, were killed in a U.S. counterterrorism operation in that same region. President Obama publicly apologized for the hostages being killed.
I take full responsibility for all our counterterrorism operations, including the one that inadvertently took the lives of Warren and Giovanni. I profoundly regret what happened.
Sources say the U.S. never recovered Weinstein's body and did not conduct a DNA test to determine his death. Multiple intelligence sources confirmed the deaths were based on circumstantial evidence and a CIA assessment. News of the deaths is circulating on the internet right now. KFOX 14 social media anchor Kajal Dashti has reaction from friends and family over the sudden loss of American doctor Warren Weinstein. Kajal.
Weinstein was captured by al-Qaeda in 2011. He was in the Middle East on a humanitarian mission, helping the people of Pakistan become economically self-sufficient. But before his mission to Pakistan, Weinstein was a political science professor at SUNY Oswego in the 1970s. His work there left an impact on those around him.
He was an excellent colleague and very helpful to me in starting out my career, and it's also just a terrible thing to happen to an American who's devoted his life to helping people throughout the world.
Even his neighbor had nothing but kind words to say about him.
He was a nice guy. He was friendly, a good neighbor, and took care of his family. The kind of person that you would like to live next door to you. Always had a smile on his face, and he was a lovely man.
As for his family, they say he dedicated his life and career to being a hard-working advocate for human rights. He was also a loving husband, father, and grandfather. His family saying, quote, "We were so hopeful that those in the U.S. and Pakistani governments with the power to take action and secure his release would have done everything possible to do so, and there are no words to do justice to this disappointment and heartbreak we are going through." Weinstein's wife currently lives in Maryland, and Warren Weinstein was 73 years old. Stephanie?
Well, thank you. A car carrying 5 young men crashes in West El Paso and falls 50 feet right down into a ravine. This happened just after 8 last night. When rescue crews arrived at the intersection of Shasta Drive and Everest Drive, they found 5 injured men ranging in age from 18 to 25. A neighbor has this warning for other motorists.
And down into this ditch. And it's a really steep ditch because, as you can see from right here, from my binoculars, I live here. So that ditch is pretty deep. I don't know what's happening in this neighborhood, but there's a great propensity for accidents. Yeah, be careful what you're doing around here, especially if it gets windy, because it winds up here pretty intense.
The men were taken to a hospital. No word yet what caused that crash. New this morning, water is back this morning for Tornillo residents. About 3,000 customers have been under a boil notice. Workers replaced the broken motor that caused the well to fail. They've also replaced the well's pump and the piping. Residents, though, will still need to boil water for about 2 minutes before cooking with it, drinking it, or making ice. A new study out this month shows 1 in 4 American teens is on the internet almost constantly, and doctors say that is causing an increase in anxiety and depression among that age group. KFOX 14 Morning News reporter Megan Lopez live in Central El Paso this morning to tell us what else doctors are learning. Megan.
Stephanie, because of this device right here, we're more connected to the world than ever before. But child psychologists say overusing your smartphone can actually lead to serious mental health disorders, with feeling the need to constantly be connected to the internet. Now, leading child psychologist Julie Lynn Evans recently told reporters she had seen, quote, "an explosion in mental health problems among teenagers, particularly among girls." The Pew Research Center study found girls overwhelmingly use social media more than boys, and also that girls feel pressured to be online constantly.
Teenage girls, that's the worst. If I miss a call, then I know they're going to all talk about me. It becomes, if I'm not connected, what does that mean? What are they saying about me? What are they doing? We do see some increase in anxiety disorders.
Now, doctors say the best thing for parents to do is to limit the amount of time that their kids are actually allowed to be on their smartphones and also on the internet. They also ask parents to lead by example, which might mean putting your phone away during dinner time or during family time. Reporting live in Central El Paso, Megan Lopez, KFOX 14 Morning News.
Megan, thank you. A Georgia principal, the subject of a social media stir this morning, how her Jeep ended up inside of a school exit. Plus,
the teenagers started taking their shirts off and throwing punches at me, and I felt very threatened.
Video of a brawl breaking out at a Texas laundromat, what the owner grabs to try and protect himself, and the reason that he decided to post the fight online. Brad.
And I'm here with John White. He's the curator for the Chihuahua Desert Gardens at UTEP. You see all these plants behind me here? This is Florafest 2015 starting tomorrow. We're going to have details on that, plus your weekend forecast. On the KFOX 14 Morning News, it's coverage you can count on.